Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Political Brown Kid here. And I just wanted to say this because, once again, I honestly believe that, we're at a crossroads when it comes to dating and relationships, and the numbers reflect that in society. My personal experiences reflect that in society. And I truly, honestly believe that the only way that we're going to get out of this is for women to have that epiphany. They're going to have that moment, that retrospective moment where they come to the realization that the approach that they're taking is wrong. Now, of course, we know that women are not going to admit that they're wrong. And women who are listening to this, please forgive me. Please don't get offended by what I'm trying to say here. I'm just speaking from my personal opinion. And if you disagree with me, definitely leave comments in the comment section. If you have questions for me, definitely leave me questions too, so we can respond and have a dialogue about it. But it's just been my personal experience that the only way that we're going to come to any type of traction in reversing the dating and relationships cultures for women to have the moment where they're like, okay, maybe the approach that we've been taking is wrong. Now, of course, if you don't want to have to admit that you're wrong, just, women always freak things to their benefit. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of this. And like I've said before, and I've said it in this video, and I'm going to say it in other videos, women always turn everything they do, they spin it. They always put a spin on it to where it either they turn it into a positive, whatever negatives that they had, they turn it into a positive. So for a prime example, if you say to a woman, why she's single, or this woman can't keep a man, like people have said that, I think about Keisha Cole, people have said that about a few celebrities, those women always have a comeback to say, no, a man can't keep me, or they'll say something like, when I have high standards and I just drop dudes whenever I want to. They always spin it so that it looks good for them. Or, they just take the approach that they deny, the premise. They just deny whatever premise you throw on the table. And I've said that before. And so that's why I'm making this comment. Y'all are probably familiar if you follow any of my comments that I leave in other comment threads in these platforms, because I leave comments on other videos, or if you followed any of the videos I've created, y'all are probably familiar with my ex that I dated, about 30 years ago, and we're friends today. She's divorced, I'm divorced, but we're strictly friends. But she's now suffers through a debilitating autoimmune disease. And, she has deficiencies. And this woman too, she's always signing up to take some kind of course to get certified in something. And then when she gets halfway through the course, she just winds up quitting the course because then she just said, I come to the realization I can't work for other people. And I already knew that. But I say nothing because everything you say to her turns into an argument, or she'll spin it where once again, like I say, she'll spin it to where she's the one coming out on top. But here's a woman, autoimmune disease, no job, Section 8, but she's back now. She's living off relatives now. But Section 8 baby. And one time I said to her, I said, man, you can't even hang out with me. You too broke. I said, you broke. I said, dang. I said, dang, so you love living. I said, you love being broke. And I said it kind of like that. I forgot what we were talking about, but I said, yeah, I said something to that effect. But I acknowledged that she has no money. In my personal opinion, and I've said this before in other threads, and people may get mad at me for saying this, but listen, $200,000 in this country doesn't go well. If you're single and you have $200,000, it's a challenge depending upon where you live. Like if you're in New York, if you're in LA, if you're in San Francisco, DC, Hawaii, Seattle, those places are expensive. Chicago, those places are very expensive. And if you're a single person and you're making $200,000, it can be challenging, especially if you have kids, because if you have kids, then you just can't get like a studio or one bedroom and be like, okay, I'm good, or just get a small house and be like, I'm good. You have to be able to accommodate that family, your dependents, and it can be a challenge. And so I'm not trying to say that to be cocky that $200,000 is nothing, but to be honest with you, it is. It's a challenge when you live in certain areas. And so she makes way less than that. She's not even bringing in money. And so I said to her, I said, you're broke. Because she's always looking for somebody to take her out and pay for her food. And I told her I'm not doing that. And so she's going to say to me, I'm not broke. I ain't broke. I got money. And so I'm like, well, what kind of money do you have? Because every time I look at you, you're broke. You look broke. Your skin looks broke. I told y'all. I keep telling y'all, because like I told you, my friends, even back in the day, when all of them were making money, doing their thing in the streets, they had that money. Whenever you have money, I don't care what your profession is. If you a hustler out in these streets, like I knew friends that did, or if you just a professional, if you have money, your skin just looks good. You have that glow. You have a nice glow to your skin. I don't care what color, what hue your skin is. You can be blue, black. You can be very dark. You can be very light, but your skin looks good. And when you broke, your skin looks broke. You can look at her broke though, and her skin looks very broke, flaky all over. She looks broke and tired, but she always spins it. And I'm not trying to be mean, ladies. I'm really not. But what I'm just trying to say is that women they just have a self-confidence. Every time I see a woman, they always say, I know I look good. I just saw a white woman online. She was like, yeah, I'm 53 and I know I'm very attractive. And I'm looking at her like, really? I'm not even a white dude. And I'm like, you average. I'm like, and not to say that average is not attractive. She's attractive, but guys, we don't talk. I mean, I guess maybe men and women are just different because we don't talk like that. Like if I was talking about myself, I'd be like, I'm all right. I look okay. I'm all right. I'm all right. But women are just like, I know I look good. So that's why I'm making this comment to say that in order for us to get out of this, because we know that women won't admit that they're wrong. The women are not going to come back and say, we were wrong. So they're just going to have to spin it to say, you know what? We changed our mind. Now the new fad is for us to date these broke men with these bus drivers. They're going to have to put the spin on this in order for us to get out of it. And it's going to take some women. They're not even listening to Cardi B. Cardi B just came out and said, 50-50. Cardi B, this video of her cleaning up her bathroom. Women are still not, they want to selectively listen to other stuff. And fellas, for us black men out here too, you're going to start seeing like with black women, once they're not going to back down from dating white men. It's like they're going to put a spin on that. Once they start seeing these white men dog them out, like you see Tamar got dogged out, you see Garcelle Bouvier got dogged out, Halle Berry got left. All of these sisters getting left by, you see Travis Kelce done left, whatever that girl name was. I don't know her name. She wasn't famous, so I don't know her. But once you start seeing these black women get left, they're still not going to come back to you and say, we were wrong. Black men are just as good as white men. They're not going to admit that because women don't, I'm not going to say especially, sister. I only deal with black women, so can't tell you what white women do. I don't know if they're just as stubborn as black women, but black women are stubborn. And I'm pretty sure white women are too. So sisters, I'm not beating up on y'all. Because once a woman is done, she won't circle back to you to say I was wrong. Because for her to circle back to you is an admittance that she was wrong and that she wants to come back when she needs you. She will rather live underneath a bridge in a cardboard box than have to come back and swallow and eat that pie, that humble pie. Once they move on, they move on. So once these black women start divesting and moving on to other races, they're not coming back to black men. Just like that one black girl I saw in a video, she was like, I'd rather be crying. If a man gonna cheat on me, I'd rather be crying in a Bentley than in a Toyota or a Honda. And she was literally driving a Toyota or a Honda. And so it was just kind of like, that doesn't even make sense. You just automatically assume that all white men have Bentleys, all white men are going to be rich because, see, that's the ideology in our culture is that white is better, that whites make more money, that whites act better, that whites look better, that whites treat you better. There's all of these different, we just think that white is better. And so that's why I say the sisters, those that cross over, they won't come back. And so even regardless of race, the only way that men and women are going to come back together is for women to say, you know what, maybe let's soften up on men. Whichever way they approach it, whether they admit that they're wrong or whether they just want to spin it to where it looks like they're on top again, whether they want to say, well, us boss women, now the new fad is for us to just date regular men, whatever the case may be, this is up to women to turn this ship around because us guys, we're willing. We are willing. We're sitting here waiting. You may see a lot of men making videos like myself. You see me making these videos about dating experiences and about, our experiences with women. And it may sometimes sound negative, but to be honest with you, a lot of this, and I can even speak for myself. I'll speak for myself and I'm not going to speak for other men. A lot of this is really a cry for maybe help, not really help. Yeah, I guess you could say help, but it's really just a cry for, reconciliation to say, look, let's bring this back together. Why does it have to be like this? Us men want to have relationships with women. We want to date women. And I'm not one of those guys that play video games all day and, watch, adult content and stuff. But, those guys aren't just doing that because that's what they want to do. Some of them possibly, yes, but it's because they just got rejected so much. And I'm going to do a video on that and how that's been affecting me. So I'm going to post that in a minute. That may come out before this video because I'm about to do a conversation about that. But the bottom line is that guys, we're waiting. We're ready and we're waiting. And, you're not going to find us, unfortunately, at dating events and at these speed dating and all of these contrived events. The one place that women, y'all can start at is y'all can start online. You're online already. Just look at the guy that you would normally click on and say, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to click on this regular guy right here and I'm going to give him a chance. Do something different. Give other guys a chance. Give standard dates a chance. Don't worry about the money because the money will come. If that's what you're worried about, if you're worried about a guy spending his resources and his time on you, you have to understand that that's going to come later because a lot of us guys, I'm going to make a video on this topic as well, we're losing trust in women, so we're holding on to our resources and our time because a lot of our resources and time has been wasted. Just like you feel as though guys have used you for your bodies, we feel as though women are using us for our time. So just as though you're holding out, giving up your body until you get what you want, us guys are holding on to our resources until we get what we want. So women, I will say this, the ball is in your court. I think that the women have the power to turn this around. Guys, we're waiting and we're ready. And so hopefully women can, at least kind of rethink their position on a lot of quote unquote standards when it comes to dating, and they can kind of change their mindset. And until then, I guess we're still going to be in the cycle that we're in. But this is the Political Brown Kid. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, but also leave comments, specifically the women. If you have any ideas, maybe if I'm off base here, definitely leave comments. Once again, this is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.